We're live. Oop, better turn down my little microphone, huh? You're squelching up a storm. Good
Oh, are
morning and
we?
welcome, everyone. Yeah, I was. I just turned down our microphones a little. Hello and good morning. Welcome to Rose Tarot and Astrology. My name is Jennifer Rose, and that is my wife, Mel Rose, up there, astrologer. And we're just going to hang out here for a minute. I'm going to type in a welcome message and we will get started talking about the astrology for next week. And it's like Virgo, Virgo, Virgo.
Virgo, 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 which always gives me the idea of like getting down to the nitty gritty.
Yes. And our middle card here is an oracle card. And it says addicted to inner peace. So that is what we're hoping to do this week with ourselves is we're going to be addicted to our own inner peace in whatever way that means for you.
Mhm.
This is what I selected today for the
Yeah.
oracle. So anyway, I think I'll go ahead and get
Yeah.
started officially. Good morning and welcome to Astro Insights Live. My name is Jennifer Rose and I'm an intuitive astrologer and tarot card reader. And above me here is my wife, Mel Rose, who is also an intuitive astrologer and tarot card reader. And this morning and every morning on Sundays at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, we go live and we talk about the astrology for the week ahead. We draw some tarot cards, and at the end, around 30 minutes in, we do a two-card tarot pull for the energy next week, whatever it is that Mel decides for those two cards. So, addicted to inner peace is our main topic for the week. It's our soul journey to be
Mhm.
addicted to our own inner peace. And Mel and I have some amazing news to share with everybody today. Mel, do you want to get started? Do you want to talk about it, or do you want me to just blab about it?
Well, I do want to let you blab about it, but I want to say my piece about being addicted to inner peace first, which is this.
Yes.
If you have ever been addicted or felt addicted to a thing, you know that it is a habitual thing that you do. And so inner peace isn't just something that you think about once in a week or once in a day and go, yeah, I'd like to have inner peace, and then go on about your day doing the same thing. You have to be seeking out those things that help you have that feeling of inner peace. You have to be looking for that inner peace in those moments to feel peaceful and happy throughout the day.
I love that. I'm so glad that you added that. Thank you so
Mhm.
much.
So, yes,
So
go
now
ahead
what
and
about
blab
our
our big
announcement?
news, baby. I'm so excited.
Well, so as luck would have it, as the universe has provided, we have um, almost we're in the late stage planning of having a brick and mortar store, and the name of the store is Midwest Woo Books and
Mhm.
More, and we will focus on enchanted books. We will have used books, upcycled books, recycled books. We're trying to do our best to highlight LGBTQIA plus makers who are local here. And I guess I didn't say that our new brick and mortar will be open probably around mid-September if all the paperwork goes through properly. And we will be located in downtown Belton, Missouri. And why that's so wonderful is this is where Mel and I met each other. This is where we grew up. This is where we graduated high school.
Mhm.
And we're hoping to an independent bookstore vibe to downtown Belton. Mel and I are both avid readers. We always have been when we were young, and we walk the streets of downtown Main Street in Belton many times. Most of my times was actually to read books or eat ice cream. So I'm back to do all of that all over again.
In the same place you used to.
Right, in the same place I used to. It's a really blessed space. There's already someone in that space who has been there for several years. It's a very quiet, calm, inviting, very positive vibe of a space. So if you're local, if you're in the Kansas City area, if you're in Belton, Cass County, anywhere, come and see us. We will keep you up to date on how all of that goes,
Mhm.
but we will be opening our tarot and astrology reading books wide open for this. We'll be doing some pre-recorded. We will be doing. We'll be just opening up our calendars to do tarot card readings, and then of course we'll be doing those in person in Belton, Missouri, coming soon in September. So that's the best way to support us. And if you haven't already, subscribing to this channel will help support us as well as getting into this on what did we was it a couple of weeks ago?
Mhm.
Like this just kind of fell in our laps a couple of weeks ago, and it's just one of those things that you can't turn away
Yeah.
from. So, we didn't really plan for this at all. I mean, we were thinking about it and planning for it. We knew it was something that we wanted to do in our future, but it just kind of fell into our laps.
Mhm.
So, we're doing our very best. We're going to open up our books, and we will also let people know what it is that we need and how you can support us. As we go on and as we figure that out.
Yes.
So that's our exciting news. We're starting
Yay!
something new.
Yay!
That's Woo Books and More, Belton, Missouri. Yay!
I'm really excited
So
about this. We've been dreaming a lot lately and thinking about what we want to do to be in business for ourselves. Here in the second half of our lives, and the bookstore was like an ultimate goal after doing some other things first. But when you get an opportunity like that, and it seems to always happen to us, and I know we've talked about this a few times lately, it seems to often happen to Jennifer and I that an opportunity seems to be making itself available during Mercury retrograde. and often if we go in and we try to make commitments or ask for specific things or negotiate, things fall apart either during Mercury retrograde or after Mercury retrograde is passed. You'll think you have it all well in hand, and then the next thing you know, it's falling apart. So, um, excuse me, this time we had Mercury retrograde, and then we had this beautiful opportunity just sort of handed to us, in good faith. And it's an irresistible opportunity, but we were just like, yeah, we're going to have to wait a week to really commit to that, which is not our style. It was definitely not my style. I'm very impulsive, and
no,
Jennifer's got that relentless enthusiasm. So anything new just feels great and feels like it's big to her. So yeah, we have really been trying to not hold our breaths on this one, but sort of just be cool and patient and let the moment arise. And so the moment hath arisen. and
yes, the moment hath arisen, and we're gonna take it. We're gonna grab it, and we're gonna chariot forth.
yes,
We are, yes. So we're excited, and we appreciate your support here. It really helps us get through the day.
yes, yes. We love showing up
Yes.
here
So
just to share what we are noticing in astrology, and using our tarot cards and our intuitive senses to help connect ourselves and everybody else sort of with what's happening out in the world and how we can navigate our own lives under that light. So thank you so much for being here with us. And shall we move
yes.
on into the astrology, my dear?
Yes, I'll pull that chart.
Okay. Okay, so the astrology for the coming week. Today is Sunday the 17th, and so I am reporting to you for today through Sunday the 24th. Today, coming into this Sunday, we can say that most of the year's biggest challenges are behind us. Many of us can say that, at least. I see some people out in the world who might still have bigger challenges ahead of them. I hope that they do. Uh, we had some good vibrations this week for speaking our mind in a way that comes across in a palatable way, that's progressive or cooperative, that allows us to sort of see a way forward together. Mercury has been in Leo, and it has us expressing ourselves in ways that are loud and proud. At least for us. If you're not a very loud and proud, open communicator, you might feel more bold than you actually think you're being. But Mercury and Leo just gives us a little bit more of that bravado in being able to speak our mind and shine through in the ways that we like to shine through. And then Mars wants us to take measured actions that produce results that seem fair. Okay, because Mars is in Libra right now. And that's why it's been important this week for us to be looking at both sides of the equation, especially as Mercury was coming out of retrograde and out of the retrograde shadow. It's really important to be able to look at both sides of an equation to think, okay, this is what I need, and then this is what the other person in this equation probably needs as well before we take action, before we set our boundaries, make our limitations, but also do something assertive. Um, yeah. So why am I talking about Mercury and Mars though? If you look at the chart below me here, you can see sort of just below my eye line there at the top is Mercury in Leo, and then out to, that's the left side of the screen, down at Mars. Uh, there's a purple line between them, and that indicates a sextile. So they are cooperating with one another this week. So, and it's something that they're like sort of coming in and out of a strong vibration for this cooperation. So definitely be proud of your ideas. Speak up for what it is you think is right and good, and on the side of justice, and follow through with actions that are considered and measured, not just impulsive. Okay, Mars in Libra is not impulsive. It's not at its strongest at that point because Mars doesn't like to have to weigh the options, but that doesn't mean that we can't. So I'm talking to my fellow Martians, in particular, also my Mercurians. So those of you with strong Aries or Scorpio placements, those with you with strong Gemini or Virgo placements, if you want your actions to be effective right now, you have to weigh the possibilities in advance. Of course, we want justice all the time, and it may be within our grasp right now, but we don't get that this week by going off half cocked at all. And then also this week, I hope you have noticed the odd and irregular things that caught your attention and tickled your imagination. There's nothing you really needed to do about that. It was a conversation that Venus is having with Uranus. It's what we desire, kind of talking with what's new and what's different. So you don't have to do anything with noticing what tickled your fancy, but just noticing that it's there and it's different to you in an attractive way is good enough. And that brings us to today. Mercury went direct on Monday, and we are hanging in with that Mercury Mars sextile vibe, speaking our truths with pride, with heart, but also weighing our options as we consider our actions. It's good weather for both of those things right now and for the next couple of days. And today, the sun is in Leo and the moon is in Gemini. In the week ahead, the moon is waning crescent to new. So it's getting smaller every night. It's coming up a little later every night, and it's an exciting arrangement for the new moon on Friday, which we will talk about in just a moment. But first, I want to draw your attention to this Tuesday and the sun's trine to Chiron. You can see the sun's trine to Chiron on today's chart. These are things that build up over time and then they perfect and they become very strong. And that's when we say that it's happening. Like sun's trine to Chiron, when I announce that, it's because it's becoming its most strong vibration. And then it's something that will pass away over time. That vibration will become weaker. But this Tuesday, uh, we haven't talked about it very much. And I don't really generally report on asteroids, but conjunct Chiron has been conjunct with Eris, and that's the asteroid that represents a minor goddess known as Discord. So, friends, this is a time when we are getting angry about our wounding. This is a powerful time to take charge of our healing and to allow that anger and frustration, or even just simple refusal to give up, to provide the push, the fuel, the motivation that you need to do better, to feel better, to have a better experience in this life. And that's what's happening. That conjunction that is giving us that power to get angry and be fueled by that anger to heal ourselves, okay? That conjunction is happening in Aries, and that tells me that especially these Mars placements again are going to see some profound transformations practically take over their lives. I'm talking to Aries and Scorpio specifically. Am I right about that? I can say that it seems to be true in my life that there's a lot of profound, even unexpected change happening right now. Please let me know in the comments what your experience is. The guidance I can offer for this moment is this: if you feel angry or passionate or upset or overwhelmed or even overjoyed, too much joy can be just too much, right? Use those emotions to motivate your will to act, okay? But don't let the emotions use you to do something impulsive or rash. Remember, Mars and Libra wants us to be balanced and measured in our actions. So just take a moment, take a beat, think about yourself and anybody else involved before you take those actions. But do let those emotions push you into action. When we learn how to channel our passionate feelings constructively, friends, that is when we really shine. And if you thought you were alone in this fight to figure out how to say what you mean without causing harm, without causing upset, without having an argument or a fight or yucking anyone else's yum, please, of all things, avoid yucking my yum. Beautifully, we started off this week with this very positive harmonic between Mercury and Mars, practically prodding us to say what we need to say, promising we can do it without coming across too hard. Are you sensing a theme yet? And then when the sun trines Chiron on Tuesday, it will be activating in our outward facing lives. That's our work, social, and civic lives. The sun will be activating that drive, that power to stand up and speak up and actually be heard. And this activation is so harmonious, almost as if it were divinely ordained, that something evident will change in the way you assert yourself and approach boundary keeping in your day-to-day life, okay? The sun is in Leo at this point, so go ahead and add people with Leo placements to the Aries and Scorpio placements who are also very likely to be really noticing this need to speak up and take action in ways that they may not have felt like they could or would do before. The sun is in Leo, yeah, and then the moon is in Cancer on Tuesday and Wednesday. It moves on into Leo on Wednesday evening, and we can feel the vibe pick it back up after the sun is in Cancer, and we kind of go home and chill out for a couple of days. We come into Leo and we feel that energy come back, that fiery desire to act. But it can be challenging. It can be a challenging day for the personal experience on on Wednesday because especially for those with moon in Leo or Leo rising, as the moon enters into each new sign, it sets off all these outer planets and the larger conversations we're having with ourselves and the rest of the world. On Thursday and Friday, Venus strikes an obstacle with the Chiron Eris conjunction. It may call into question some of the moves we've made. We may feel some discomfort about how we think this healing vibration should feel and actually how it does feel. Remember, it's okay to feel those uncomfortable feelings like anger and passion and overwhelm. Remember to try to use the power of those emotions to show you how you'd like to feel and move you to act in that direction. And then on Friday, we have a chart for Friday. On Friday, we have a very special day. First, this afternoon around 3:33 my time, not this afternoon, but Friday afternoon around 3:33 my time, the sun will move on into Virgo. And the sun in Virgo heralds the late summer, early fall season, okay? Virgo ends at the fall equinox. So that's now just 4 weeks away, you guys. And then this evening, a little bit after midnight my time, the moon is going to move on into Virgo. That's Friday evening. And the two will converge there just just after midnight, one right after the other. They just enter Virgo and then they meet up right there. at the beginning of Virgo. So that's special. Recall that all the planets entering new signs right now are making aspects to those big outer planets that are in early degrees of their signs. So this new moon is aspecting all the major players on a board on the board in quick order. The sun is conjunct the moon. They're at the same place in the sky. We're at the beginning of our creative cycle for the month. But the most significant aspects are that the moon is having an attitude of adjustment to both Pluto and Saturn conjunct Neptune. So if you look at the chart that's here, oh, okay. Okay. Well, if you look at a chart of a moment that day, or if you look at a chart of the moment for Friday, you will notice that there is a triangular pattern. And it starts with Mercury, which again is right here at the top, sort of right below where my finger is. And it reaches down to the bottom to Pluto. And then there's a line that reaches over to the lower right corner where Neptune and Saturn are together there at the beginning of Aries. So by the time we get to the new moon on Friday, the sun and moon will be there at the beginning of Virgo, and midway sort of between those two configurations, Pluto in Aquarius and Saturn Neptune in Aries. And that is like a finger of God. It is a big demarcation to pay attention to and make use of, because we're making adjustments, things are changing. That new moon at 0 degrees Virgo. Okay, this is a big beginning point for the year. We have just put a lot of the year's mess, a lot of the year's hardest transits behind us. For many of us, at least collectively, a lot of the hardest stuff, believe it or not, is behind us. Um, so this is going to be our opportunity to make a new start. And the thing I love about the new moon in Virgo is that we're going to be getting down to the nitty gritty and sorting things out. With opening a new shop, especially if you're doing any kind of retail, it's definitely like sorting through each and every object you have and placing a value on it and deciding what you're going to do with it and how you're going to display it and where it goes with what. So it's very Virgoan activity. And the other good news is that there's another Virgo new moon this month, a second Virgo new moon for the year, which there's usually only one, uh, coming up on the 25th. So whatever it is that we're working on starting right now, we're going to be making another fresh start about this time next month. And that tracks because that's when I'm opening a store. So uh, major turning point, friends, new beginnings all around. It invites us to be proactive and as opposed to being reactive. So if we can stay focused on our goals this month and be actively engaged in unfolding them and be very particular about how we respond to the obstacles that arise, we can have a very efficient and effective and productive month and year ahead of us. Okay. There is an energy here where some of us may dig in our heels, resistant to the changes that are upon us, right? My advice for that is to be as embracing as you can of change and let everything be exactly as it is. And in light of that information, take care of yourself first, and you know what it is, and who it is you're responsible for. This also means that we have a second new moon in Virgo this year, like I said, coming up on the 21st of September, the day before the fall equinox, folks. So understand that whatever you're cultivating now, like I said, you're coming back to it in about a month, and you're going to see those next steps unfolding before you into the autumn. Now, for next weekend, the 3 or 4 days following the new moon on Friday, they may be a little bit challenging. The sun remains at the apex of that triangle with Pluto and Saturn conjunct Neptune, and we're sort of put on the spot, right, to adjust our lives to new and changing realities, fundamental changes, in our personal realities and our collective realities. And, part of the challenge there, this Saturn conjunct Neptune retrograde in Aries vibe is like learning where to be more rigid, be more boundaries oriented, be more focused on containment, and where to loosen up a little bit and let things flow a little bit more. It's a bit of a roll with the punches or turn the other cheek vibration for next weekend, okay? Work and school are picking up right now. We are getting out of summer mode and re engaging with our professional and educational lives. And the adjustment can be challenging, but we're up to it. So, as you're doing the work to settle into these changes or making the adjustments to your lifestyle and schedule that become necessary this time of year, getting into those Virgoan things, getting down to the nitty gritty of organizing life and business and your social life and all of that, remember to be patient with yourself and others. Next week, after this coming week, Venus moves on into Leo right off the bat, and I just want to put that out there for you. I don't know even know if we can hear you. I'm sorry I didn't see you throw those cards, Jennifer.
It's okay. It's perfectly fine, and I'm glad that you were just kind of rolling with the punches there. When you were talking about it, though, you were talking about how we have the want to go forward, and then we're here with the Queen of Swords.
Mhm.
So remember exactly what it was that you were talking about at the time, but it really kind of nailed the situation, the scenario that you were discussing at the time.
Yeah. Well, and that's really kind of the vibe for this year, and we are in the 2 steps back part of the 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. So it's interesting to be making a beginning at this time, but the astrology for Friday's new moon definitely says make a new beginning and get very particular. Do something that you have to really sort out. So um, yeah, it's gonna feel a little bit like stopping and starting for a little bit. But when we get into next year, it's a whole new vibration for everybody involved. So I'm looking forward to it. And I
Yeah,
think this is a safe time to be planning and trying things out and really trying to get particular about what you see for your own personal future.
absolutely. So I was listening to you discuss the astrology for Wednesday. Is that still a good day for me to get my hair cut?
The astrology for Wednesday. What did I say? Oh, because the moon. Oh, well, my moon in Pisces love. You're gonna
Leo
feel a
rising,
lot of
Leo moon.
things, and some of them might be a little bit
No, but I'm
angry, a little
saying, like,
frustrating.
yeah, well, my barber is Cancer Leo.
Mhm.
So, but you said Leo rising and Leo moon people would be affected by that. So I'm just curious.
Yes, yes. Moon goes into Leo that day at 6:17 p.m. Are we
Oh,
getting our
okay.
haircuts before then?
Yeah,
Good,
yes.
good.
All right. Yay.
Yay! Beautiful. Okay, so we're gonna go back to cards now.
Oh, we are.
Are we gonna go ahead and do
Are you
some?
all done with the astrology?
I am.
Oh, okay, wonderful.
Yeah.
I thought so, but I just wanted to be sure. I didn't know if I had just, interrupted.
I just bulldozed right through it today, babe.
All right. Well, okay. So I do have a question though. So what according to the astrology, what would you say the most positive day might be of this week and the most challenging day might be of this
Oh,
week?
okay. Yeah.
I know you don't like to be put on the spot, so you don't have to, but
No, no, I think that's good. And I think that there's good to have a card for each of those too. So I'm going to call the most positive day, the most optimistic day of the week. would be Tuesday the 19th, because Sun has the trine to Chiron and Eris. And so we're getting mad about our wounds, and
Okay.
that sounds hard, and it can feel a little bit hard, but we are really given an opportunity to set some things right very easily in a very simple way, to allow things to sort of be transformed on that day. So,
Oh, I love that. Okay. So the most positive day, the one that you have some good energy, some healing energy, is on Tuesday.
mhm, mhm. So even if it feels a little comfortable to feel that, that anger, that frustration, even just that like relentlessness, right? Because you don't want to give up so easily. When you're feeling that, that's a good day to really to take it on and use it, especially in your work, social, and civic life, to solve a problem or heal a wound. And what's my card for that one today? Yes, the Queen of Cups. Look, you know how you feel, and if you know how you feel, you're halfway there. We're still very much under this vibration of speak up, be proud of, what you of what your ideas are, of what you bring to the table. And with Mars and Libra, it's also taking action with what you know, in a measured way. The Queen of Cups here really just wants us to say, I know how I feel, and I'm not going to forget about that when I'm measuring my actions.
Right. I love the Queen of Cups because I'm often drawn to the fact that, there's another place over here where the queen can invite you over, into this contained, emotional, grounded
Hmm.
space for a minute. That's like mom vibes for me, or, grandma
Yes.
vibes for me. But, and then you have the choice of who you bring over here based on previous experiences, based on your intuition. That's just really somebody that is in charge of themselves,
Hmm.
and not as, like, not as reactive probably
Hmm.
as,
Well, and speaking of being addicted to inner
the other.
peace, that's part of being addicted to inner peace, is making sure that your
Right.
emotional state is calm, doing what you need to do to make sure that your emotional state is calm, so that when you're making decisions, uh, especially decisions that affect your work, social, or civic life, so there are other people involved, you want to know that you're making those decisions from a place of calm and a peaceful heart, so that your intentions don't come across the wrong way.
Right, and you can see that that's solid ground that she's sitting on,
Hmm.
that the queen is sitting on. The throne is on solid ground, and, there's water around it, you know?
Yeah.
So that ground had to be built up, and or the water had to be moved, displaced, removed, and then kept at bay in order to be on this kind of stable situation, in order to sit there
Right.
comfortably.
Which means we consider our
Right, so
emotions,
grounding.
when we're seeking that inner peace, but we also, understand that they're emotions, they come and go. You can feel them arise and then float away if you give them time.
Yes, I agree.
And then I would say the most challenging day this week, really Saturday and Sunday, but I would really say Sunday the 24th is going to be the most challenging day of the week. The whole weekend is a little earthy, a little Saturny, a little Virgo-y. It's a new moon, so we're coming back to ourselves, and like, that's our peaceful place. We're finishing up this week, the tidying up of last month's endeavors, so that we can move on into the next month's endeavors. And when we get to that new moon, it might be a little bit challenging. It might be a little bit difficult. There might be some things that we have to adjust to this weekend that we were not anticipating. You sort of, oh, I think everything's going just fine, and then you just hit a boundary or a wall or a limitation, because Saturn is there. Saturn's there with Neptune, so we might not really understand what's going on. And what we're figuring out here, in this adjustment, is where to be a little more fluid and giving, and where to be a little more strict and unforgiving. So my card for that one is, yeah, friends. Change is inevitable. You cannot stop it. And if you try, you will fail. We can always hold off change. A lot of times we can manage to hold off some change, but truly it's inevitable. So really, when you see changes coming at this time, please do your best to accept that change is coming and embrace it. Okay. Um, be honest with yourself. Maybe the change doesn't mean everything that you think it means. You might think, oh, if I go forward with this change, if I embrace this change, then that means my whole life will change and it will be terrible forever. That's usually not the case. Okay. We just have to make the best of the hand that we're dealt, the situations we're given. And if we're dedicated to making the best of it, then we're halfway there, like I said. So knowing how you feel and understanding that the changes are inevitable. Yeah. I think you have to put your camera on so that people can hear you, Jennifer.
I'm trying to conserve the internet landia because it's waning. So
Mhm.
I thought maybe that would. Yeah, I like the death card. Not everybody likes to see the death card in tarot card readings, I'll have to say. And when you're sitting with a psychic, sometimes it might recall back someone that you've lost or some grief that you're experiencing. But that is not the only time that I see the death card. That is not the overall characterization, I would say, of the death card. I feel like it's always really about some change, about transformation. It's about doing something differently. It's about figuring it out. You found it out and moving forward.
Mhm.
Like planting the seeds and going on. Just having to just I don't know. I don't know what I want to say about the death card right now. I got wrapped around the fact that, it doesn't always mean death, but it can. But the transformation is here, and really, you've got to get up when it's there. You may not feel like it, like you may feel like your body is in some really heavy iron that you're walking around in, and jumping on the horse might sound like a really just really like a bunch of bullshit sometimes. But jumping on that horse is the way that we go forward, and the way that we act on our dreams and the things that we want, and all of the abundance that's coming our way. I can't believe that still at 52 years old, almost 53 now, that I'm having to remind myself that it's okay to have abundance and to ask for it and to receive it when it comes to me. And
Yeah.
it comes to me in all sorts of great ways, like in pies, pizza pies and pie pies and ice cream. But it also comes to me through the universe in all sorts of magical ways, just kind of like our new adventure here with our brick and mortar Midwest Woo Books and more. So the
Yeah.
transformation is here. If you're wanting to do something differently, now is the time.
Mhm.
You
Addicted to inner peace. It reminds me when I see that death card that when people are dead, we say rest in peace, right? Like,
Oh, yes,
uh,
right,
so part of that is just for me reminding people to rest. Like you're not dead, and you may have a lot on
right.
your plate with this Virgo new moon followed by another Virgo new moon. But do remember to take your rest when you can.
Yes, absolutely.
And I love the symmetry of this reading. The first reading they were facing each other, and this reading they're facing apart from each other.
Expanding, contracting.
Mhm. It's like passionate, dispassionate, or you know,
Right.
yeah. It's very balanced looking to me.
Yes, I like that. And I hope that's exactly how our week ends up, especially emotionally, astrologically, however it is. I hope that you're your week is going to be as balanced as that reading was. All right. So, are we all finished up with our show for today, Mel?
I think that we are. I don't have anything
Okay.
else.
All right. It just seemed really short, and I know that I've just been kind of quiet. So, a little bit curious. So, anyway, I guess thank you so much for joining us here at Astro Insights Live. We go live every Sunday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. And we will be making some adjustments to some of our programming, whether you'll be able to watch live or not. So please, if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel, hit that notifications bell so you can see when we post something in our community or when we upload a new video. So we love to take you on our new adventure, and we intend to do some live videos and some classes and things from our new brick and mortar space in Belton, Missouri, and we hope that you will be here, subscribed, and ready to go. Thank you so much, Melrose, astrologer Melrose, for keeping us up to date on what's going on with the astrology. And
Of course.
we really appreciate you so much for watching, subscribing, and being here, supporting us. And we look forward to seeing you in our next live or in our next video.
Friends, thank you so much for being here. We'll catch you soon.